Stand still in silver folded quiet across the sleeping street. A porcelain cup against my palm releases gentle steam, its warmth and shadows on the wall. A dream of sheltered midnight calm and whispered harmony. Within the quiet air and settle gently there. Tea light in the silent snow. The piano hums in shaded tones that shimmer then retreat. It leaves a careful breath between each beat of harmony and science that flickers with the flame. A voice unfolds in velvet arms, warm against the cold. It threads along the steady groove and holds the hush within the room like fire cupped in hands. Tea light in the silent snow, calm and white, where wandering thoughts can hide. Nothing presses at the door, the chill is felt no more. Tea light in the silent snow. The fireplace murmurs in low sparks that bloom and settle down. Its amber glow expands and bends round the edges of the evening in softened golden rings. The bass keeps gentle walking lines in rounded steady tone. It steadies every drifting chord. Alone beneath the mellow piano that hums in muted light. Brush drums scatter fragile taps like flakes upon the roof. They frame the outer edge of sound, aloof from hurried midnight thinking or restless passing hours. Trumpet bends a line, then melts into the flame, a ribbon through the winter air, untamed, yet quiet in its arc between the coals and cup. Outside the snow continues slow, in silver layer sheets the world beyond the firelight retreats from warmth and woven sound that fills the wooden room. The cup grows cooler in my hand, yet comfort lingers near. It settles in the mellow tone, and here becomes a steady presence through deepening midnight blue. The book beside the Hearthlight waits, its pages faintly lit. Each line becomes a quiet room that the rhythm of the music and firelight's gentle pulse. The woven chair beneath my weight holds warmth against the chill. Its threads reflect the amber glow until the room feels small and safe within the falling snow. Unspoken, calm and bright, it lingers in the layer sound of night and carries through the silence long after embers fade. Tea light in the silent snow, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry it beyond this room into the tea light in the silent snow. The snow drifts on, the flames stay soft. Firelight across the wooden floor, in amber quiet waves the winter night leans at the door and stays beyond the frosted glass. A cup of tea beside my hand releases silver steam. The room feels smaller than before, a dream inside the glowing dark. Dreams in a cup of tea, soft and slow, little winter embers glow. They rise within the quiet air and linger gently there. Dreams in a cup of tea. That shimmer then retreat, it leaves a tender space between each beat of harmony and breath. A voice unfolds in whispered silk, warm but never bright. It moves along the steady groove of night and never asks for more. Dreams in a cup of tea, calm and white, where wandering thoughts can hide. Nothing presses at the door, the chill is felt no more. Dreams in a cup of tea. The fireplace speaks in fragile sparks that flicker then grow still. Its warmth and shadows on the wall until they soften into calm. The bass keeps gentle walking lines in rounded patient tone. It anchors every drifting chord alone beneath the mellow keys. Brush drums whisper silver taps like snow against the pane. They frame the outer edge of sound again and soften every turn. A muted trumpet bends a phrase, then melts into the air, a ribbon of a distant thought. Somewhere between the flame and dark. Outside the snow keeps falling slow, and silver silent sheets the world beyond the window fades. Retreats from firelight and tea. The cup grows lighter in my hand, yet warmth remains inside. It lingers in the mellow tone and hides within the layer's sound. I let the winter settle deep between the notes and breath. It rests like folded evening light beneath the hush of glowing coals. Dreams in a cup of tea, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry them beyond this room into the winter bloom. Dreams in a cup of tea. The fire burns low, the night feels kind. Silver curling lines, the winter night leans at the glass and shines through frost that gathers slowly beyond the firelit pane. A woven blanket on the chair holds traces of the day. The warmth inside the wooden walls won't sway, though snow keeps falling softly across the silent street. Steam rising in the quiet room, soft and slow. Little winter embers glow. They drift above the cup of tea and settle close to me. Steam rising in the quiet room. In mellow chords that shimmer then descend. It leaves a careful breath between each bend of harmony and silence that lingers near the flame. A voice unfolds in velvet arcs, warm against the night. It threads along the steady groove, never reaching higher than the glow of coals. Steam rising in the quiet room, calm and white, where wandering thoughts can hide. Nothing presses at the door, the cold is felt no more. Steam rising in the quiet room. Fireplace murmurs in low sparks that flicker, fade and bloom. Its amber breath bends shadows slow across the room, like stories told in whispers before the hour grows late. The bass voice keeps gentle walking lines and rounded steady pace. It anchors every drifting tone in place without demanding focus from the mellow keys. Brush drums scatter fragile taps like snow against the pane. They trace the outer edge of sound again and soften every measure into gentle sway. A muted sax in honey brass emerges, then withdraws, a slender ribbon through the air, because the night has room for silence between each folded phrase. Outside, the rooftops fade in white beneath a silver sky. The world beyond the firelight drifts by, unhurried and unnoticed by this sheltered glow. A second cup is poured with care. The steam begins to rise. It carries hints of quiet warmth that ties the present to the moment before the coals burn low. The room grows smaller in the hush, yet deeper in its calm. Each note aligns with softened breath like balm across the winter stillness that waits beyond the glass. A book lies open on the table, its pages gently bend. The firelight dances on the lines that blend with tea and muted harmony into a woven hush. I let the warmth remain within, unspoken, clear and deep. It lingers in the layer sound I keep long after cups are empty and embers settle low. Steam rising in the quiet room, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry it beyond this hour like quiet hidden power. Steam rising in the quiet room. The last coal glows, then slowly dims. Embers between the pages glow in amber quiet waves. The winter night leaves at the pane and stays beyond the frosted window where drifting snow collects. A cup of tea beside the book releases silver stain. The room feels smaller than before. A dream of firelit woven silence and softened wooden floors. Embers between the pages glow, soft and slow. Little winter sparks bestow their warmth upon the quiet air and settle gently there. Embers between the pages. comes in rounded tones that shimmer then subside. It leaves a careful space between each stride of harmony and breathing that rises with the flame. A voice unfolds in velvet calm, warm but never loud. It threads along the steady groove, unbowed by wind beyond the glass or distant winter sounds. Oh, embers between the pages glow, calm and wide, where wandering thoughts can't hide. Nothing presses at the door, the chill is felt no more. Embers between the pages glow. Speaks in tender cracks that flicker into ghosts. Its breath bends shadows on the wall and holds the quiet close and steady within its amber ring. Oh, the bass keys gentle walking lines in rounded, patient tone. It steadies every drifting chord alone beneath the mellow piano that hums in softened light. Brush drums scatter silver taps like snow against the roof. They trace the outer rim of sound from hurried midnight thinking or restless passing hours. A muted trumpet bends a phrase that melts into the air, riven through the glowing dark somewhere between the cup and coals and drifting winter hush. Outside the rooftops gather white beneath the silent sky. The world beyond the firelight drifts by, unnoticed and unmeasured by this sheltered room. The woven scarf upon the chair holds traces of the day. Its threads reflect the amber flame and sway with every breath of warmth that circles through the air. The book lies open in my hand, its margins softly lit. Each line becomes a quiet road that fit the rhythm of the music and firelight's slow pulse. The steam above the cup ascends in silver fragile curves. It rises like a gentle thought that serves no purpose but to linger within the winter calm. I let the embers settle low, unspoken, deep and bright. They glow beneath the tempered tone of night. the silence long after pages close. Embers between the pages glow, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry them beyond this room into the winter bloom. Embers between the pages glow. Golden steam and midnight curls above the porcelain rim. The winter sky beyond the glass grows dim in silver, drifting quiet that wraps the sleeping town. The hearthlight paints the wooden walls in trembling amber waves. Its glow bends softly on the floor and saves the room from distant cold that waits beyond the door. Golden steam and midnight curls, soft and slow. Little winter embers glow. They hover in the tempered air and linger gently there. Golden steam at midnight curls. The piano bends in mellow chords that shimmer, then release. It leaves a breath between the notes for peace within the glowing chamber of fire and softened light. A voice descends in satin tone, warm against the dark. It moves along the steady groove like spark across a bed of coals that whisper under ash. Golden steam at midnight curls, calm and white, where restless thoughts subside. Nothing presses at the door. The frost is felt no more. Golden steam at midnight curls. The fireplace answers quietly in fragile, tender snaps. Its warmth expands in amber arcs and wraps the edges of the evening in woven strands of calm. The bass continues patient steps in rounded, gentle pace. It anchors every drifting chord in place without demanding focus from the mellow keys. Brush drums whisper subtle taps like snow along the eaves. They soften every measured turn and weave a quiet undercurrent beneath the vocal line. A wax exhales a phrase, then fades into the flame. A honey thread of midnight air, the same as drifting winter silence beyond the frosted pane. The curtain shifts against the glass as wind leans lightly near. Its movement barely stirs the room or here disturbs the glowing warmth of tea and tempered chords. The cup grows lighter in my hands, yet comfort lingers still. It settles in the mellow tone until the hour softens gently toward deeper midnight blue. A clock upon the mantel moves in careful, quiet time. Its ticking blends with harmony and rhyme of crackling coals and breath within the amber light haze. The woven rug beneath my feet holds warmth against the chill. Each thread reflects the softened glow until the room becomes a shelter from drifting winter air. I let the golden steam dissolve, unspoken, calm and slow. It lingers in the layer sound below and warms the quiet hours long after flames grow thin. Golden steam at midnight curls, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry it beyond this room into the winter bloom. Golden steam at midnight curls. The hearthlight dims, but warmth remains. Hearthlight on porcelain, an amber trembling glow. The winter sky beyond the pane hangs low in silver drifting silence across the quiet town. A cup of tea rests in my hands, its steam begins to rise. It paints the air with fragile threads and ties the room to softer hours, a folded midnight calm. Hearthlight on porcelain, soft and slow. Little winter embers glow, they rise above the quiet air and settle gently there. Hearthlight on porcelain. Piano hums in mellow tones that shimmer then descend. It leaves a careful breath between each bend of harmony and shadow that flickers with the flame. A voice unfolds in velvet calm, warm but never bright. It threads along the steady groove of night and never strains for height beyond the fire's glow. Hearthlight on porcelain, calm and white, where wandering thoughts can hide. Nothing presses at the door, the frost is felt no more. Hearthlight on porcelain. The fireplace murmurs softly low in fragile bursts of gold. Its warmth and shadows on the wall and holds the edges of the evening in woven strands of hush. The bass keeps gentle walking lines, and round its steady pace it anchors every drifting chord in place without demanding notice from the mellow keys. Beside the rooftops gather white beneath a patient sky. The world beyond the firelight and sway with every breath of warmth that circles through the room. Outside the rooftops gather white beneath a patient sky. It settles in the mellow tone until the hour deepens gently towards softened midnight blue. A clock upon the mantle moves in quiet, careful time. Its ticking blends with harmony and rhyme of crackling coals and breath within the amber light. I let the hearthlight linger low, unspoken, calm and deep. It glows beneath the layered sound I keep long after flames grow quiet and snow continues on. Hearthlight on porcelain, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry it beyond this room into the winter bloom. Hearthlight on porcelain, the coals breathe slow, the room stays warm. the fire in amber patient waves. The frost outside the window pane behaves in silver drifting silence across the sleeping roofs. A porcelain cup against my palm releases gentle steam. The room grows smaller than before, a dream of woven warmth and shadow along the wooden floor. Winter quiet by the fire, soft and slow. Little winter embers glow, they hover in the tempered air and linger gently there. Winter quiet by the fire. The piano bends in shaded chords that shimmer then retreat. It leaves a tender space between each beat of harmony and breathing that flickers with the flame. A voice descends in saddened tone, warm against the night. It moves along the steady groove, just right, without a sudden climb beyond the coals below. Winter quiet by the fire, calm and wide, where restless thoughts subside. Nothing presses at the door, the chill is felt no more. Winter quiet by the fire. The fireplace speaks in tender cracks that bloom and settle down. Its amber breath expands and bends around the edges of the evening in soft and golden rings. The bass keeps slow, deliberate steps in rounded, gentle pace. It steadies every drifting tone in place without demanding focus from the mellow keys. Brush drums scatter fragile taps like snow upon the roof. They frame the outer edge of sound, aloof from hurried midnight thinking or restless passing hours. A muted trumpet bends a phrase, then melts into the flame, a ribbon through the winter air, untamed yet quiet in its arc, between the cup and coals. Outside the snow continues slow in layered silver sheets. The world beyond the Hearthlight retreats from warmth and woven sound that fills the wooden room. A woven rug beneath my feet holds warmth against the chill. Each thread reflects the softened glow until the room feels small and safe within the falling snow. The cup grows lighter in my hand, yet comfort lingers near. It settles in the mellow tone, and here becomes a steady presence through deepening midnight blue. The book beside the firelight waits, its pages gently lit. Each line becomes a quiet road that fit the rhythm of the music and cold, slow pulse. I let the winter quiet stay, unspoken, calm and bright. It lingers in the layered sound of night and carries through the silence long after steam dissolves. Winter quiet by the fire, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. Winter quiet by the fire, the flame leans low. The snow keeps falling. Steam and shadows by the hearth, in amber quiet waves. The winter sky beyond the pane behaves in silver drifting silence across the sleeping town. A porcelain cup against my palm releases curling light. Its warmth bends softly through the air tonight, like whispered midnight comfort in woven wooden walls. Steel and shadows by the hearth, soft and slow. Little winter embers glow, their eyes within the tempered air and settled day there. Stale and shadows by your hearth. Yellow hums and velvet chords that shimmer then withdraw. It leaves a patient breath between each draw, with harmony and silence that flickers with the flame. A voice unfolds in muted silk, warm against the cold. It threads along the steady groove and holds the hush within the room, like fire cupped in hand. Steam and shadows by the hearth, calm and wide, where wandering thoughts can't hide. Nothing presses at the door, the frost is felt no more. Steam and shadows by the heart. The fireplace murmurs in low sparks that bloom and settle down. Its amber breath expands in arcs around the edges of the evening in soft and golden rings. The bass keeps gentle walking winds and round its steady tone. It steadies every drifting chord alone beneath the mellow piano that hums in muted light. Outside the snow continues slow in layered silver sheets. The world beyond the firelight retreats from warmth and woven sound that fills the wooden room. A second cup is poured with care. Its surface softly gleams. The rising steam becomes a bridge of dreams between the coals and chords that hum beneath the night. The woven blanket on the chair holds traces of the day. Its threads reflect within the amber hush. I let the steam dissolve in air, unspoken, calm and bright. It lingers in the layered sound of night and carries through the silence long after cups grow still. Steam and shadows by the hearth, warm and bright, floating softly through the night. I carry them beyond this room into the winter gloom. Steam and shadows by the hearth. The steam fades slow, the coals breathe low. Steam and shadows by the hearth. We steam fade slow, the coals breathe low. Porcelain dreams in winter glow, in amber trembling light. The frost beyond the window pane is white and quiet in its falling across the silent roofs. A cup of tea rests near the flame, its surface softly stirred. The rising steam becomes a line unheard, yet present in the hush of sheltered midnight calm. Porcelain dreams in winter glow, soft and slow. Little winter embers glow, they hover in the tempered air and linger gently there. Porcelain dreams in winter glow. The piano bends in shaded chords that shimmer then recede. It leaves a careful breath between each need of harmony and silence that flickers near the coals. A voice descends in velvet tone, warm against the night. It threads along the steady groove just right, without a sudden rise, beyond the fire's glow. Porcelain dreams in winter glow, calm and wide, where restless thoughts subside. passes at the door, the chill is felt no more. Porcelain dreams in winter glow, the fireplace answers softly low in fragile golden bursts. Its warmth bends shadows on the wall that first were sharp but now grow tender in amber woven rings. The bass keeps slow deliberate steps in rounded gentle pace. It anchors every drifting tone in place without demanding notice from the mellow keys. Brush drums whisper subtle taps like snow along the roof. They frame the outer edge of sound aloof from hurried midnight thinking or restless passing hours. A muted trumpet bends a line that melts into the flame, a honeyed arc of midnight tone, the same as drifting winter stillness beyond the frosted pane. The woven rug beneath my feet holds warmth against the chill. Each thread reflects the softened glow until the room becomes a refuge from drifting winter. The cup grows lighter in my hand, yet comfort lingers near. It settles in the mellow tone, and here becomes a steady presence through deepening midnight blue. The book beside the Hearthlight waits, its pages faintly lit. Each line becomes a quiet road that fits the rhythm of the music and cold, slow pulse. Outside the snowfall thickens still in laid silver waves. The world beyond